Right, in this episode of Depression Q&A, I've decided to discuss something that came up at, I think it was a job club or something. It was either done through the job centre or it was done through the mental health services. But it was a question that they couldn't give an answer to, and a question that I can't give a definite yes or no, you should or shouldn't do. But what I'm going to do is give you some background. The question that came up was, should you declare your mental ill health in a job interview? Should you disclose the fact that you suffer from some sort of mental health condition? Now, I do not have that luxury. Before I even made these videos for YouTube, I appeared on YouTube on a video at a Depression Awareness Day talking about my experience with having depression. So because I can only go locally for a job, because traveling has become harder and harder for me, I have to look for jobs. I had to look for jobs locally, and unfortunately my name was in the paper when I took over as the chair of the local mental health service and service user and carer forum, and also when I was trying to plug the Depression Awareness Day that I'd done. So my name came up, so I couldn't hide it. But the discussion we had was, should you? Now, the woman who ran the job club or whatever it was, or the course we were doing, said it's really up to you. If you do, you run the risk, because although it's getting better, the situation is still pretty poor in someone with a mental health problem actually passing an interview. People do not like to take on people with mental ill health because they think they are going to take lots of time off, which is actually wrong. But then, do you see them discriminating against people who have an interest in extreme sports, who can end up breaking their legs, their neck, their back, whatever, and be off a lot? Do they discriminate against people with other long-term illnesses? No, not really. They don't ask. And so long as you don't tell, that's okay. But with mental health, that's always been a difficult area. So the advice we were given was, if you want to, disclose it. If not, don't. The problem with saying, not disclosing, is that opens the door to them saying, if you did have a couple of days off and you said it was a mental health thing, they can say you lied. You lied by omission. So the question is, are you willing to risk not disclosing and hope you don't have a mental health crisis, and then it all gets blown out? You could maybe fudge it and make it sound like it's the first time it's ever happened to you. But can you run that risk? Because it's so much harder for people with mental ill health to get a job. In fact, when I was still looking for work, when I could, there was only one employer that actually said, because like I said, I cannot hide it. I said I had depression. There was only one employer who said, okay, that's fine. We'll have to figure out how we can help. I didn't get that job. I don't know why I didn't get that job. But the fact that they even said, we'll have to think about what we could do to help, makes me think that it was probably just that there was someone more qualified than me. Wouldn't surprise me. I still hadn't really got enough experience under my belt for that kind of job. But there's always a suspicion that although they were saying something positive, that it might have been my mental health that was the problem. Like I said, I don't know. You have to choose. Are you going to disclose and find out at some later point that the reason you didn't get the job was because you disclosed your mental health problem and they have a problem with it? Or are you going to risk non-disclosure and then possibly losing your job because they will say you lied by omission? Because you don't have to say anything about having a mental health problem for it to be considered a lie, because you weren't completely honest. Now, I know most interviews are not a completely honest thing. You will gild the lily. But you can't do that with mental health. It always seems you can exaggerate anything else, but people come down a hell of a lot harder with people with mental ill health. Now, this is in depression question and answers, but this applies to all mental ill health. Question is, what are you prepared for? Are you prepared to be completely honest, which I think is the best thing to do, and risk not getting the job because you may be at a company that is reluctant to take on mentally ill people? Or do you risk non-disclosure and the consequences of that? That is your dilemma. That is a question only you can answer. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. If you liked this or found it interesting or informative or helpful, click the like button. Don't forget to put any comments in the comment section below. Share the video on your social media feeds or give the link to people who might be interested, helped by this video. And if you want more videos like this, then why not click the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you know when the next videos come up. And I hope to see you again soon.